Hey everybody, it's Greg Rice. We're here in Plantsville, Connecticut with my old friend, my old coach as a matter of fact, Art Dessureau.
Greg, good to see you.
How you doing, brother?
Doing well.
Art actually came to me a few weeks ago. He came up to Rhode Island and he told me all about his new company that he's working at, WM Fire Protection. And he said, hey Greg, sprinklers, fire alarms, you name it, we do it. Big and small.
Anything to do with fire protection. So small as the extinguishers, around the building, all the way up to, huge sprinkler systems that, cover, large buildings, wet systems, dry systems, special hazards for, data centers. You name it, we cover it.
So take us through, a normal day, right? You come in, is it clients calling saying, hey, my alarm system's beeping, or the fire department's here, or are you on the sales end where you're dealing with new jobs?
More on the sales end. So I'm out hunting, looking for people. We have a great staff here that deal with the day-to-day, scheduling guys to go in and do the inspections, scheduling people once parts come in to do the upgrades and the deficiency repairs and stuff like that. So that's kind of off of my plate, which is kind of nice because I can be out there looking for for new customers. But if the phone rings and it's one of my customers, absolutely I'm going to jump on it and make sure that they get all the answers they need.
Absolutely, and it's not a small outfit, folks. I just took a tour. We checked out the whole place. It's probably 20,000 square feet if I had to guess. And it's it's the office workers, it's conference centers, it's also the shop in the back, and they also have, what would you call it, a subcontractor or another company that's making...
Yeah, so it's kind of a sister, not related.
Gotcha.
So a couple of guys that used to be fitters here started their own fab shop. So they will fab pipe for us. And what's nice about having them in our building is if we need something quick, usually they can take care of it for us. And the communication's also never an issue because you can walk over there with a drawing and say this is what I need, as opposed to bouncing emails back and forth and stuff like that.
In-house,
but not in-house.
True. So we were just in the conference center, right? We were talking about fire marshals, right? And rental property owners, right? We deal with fire departments whether we like it or not, and they come up when you least suspect it. A tenant has a fire or somebody shuts off a valve for something, and then they're in your house. And then they usually come with that bright pink list of violations.
Yes.
So you said that you sometimes are teaching fire marshals and captains. What's that like, dealing with that crowd, if you will?
So we don't necessarily teach, per se with myself, but we'll host events. So we'll have NFPA come in and host an event here, National Fire Prevention Association, and they'll come in, and so we'll host them here and have them come in and try to keep them updated on the latest codes, some of the changes that are coming to market, some of the new products that they may see out in the field.
And what about, we're talking about urban versus rural communities. What do you see, as far as your job goes, say you're in Waterbury and then you're in Beacon Falls. Are you doing the same thing, or is it different types of work?
So the code is the code for the most part, across the board. Some, fire marshals have certain things that they desire or require that is above and beyond, and that's within their purview to, push the limit a little bit more.
Gotcha.
And then there's some that are really lackadaisical, so we just go with what the minimum is on the NFPA.
So what's been one of the bigger jobs that you've been involved in?
So we do a lot with Big Wise, which is I don't know, do you guys have those out in Rhode Island?
We don't.
So it's a Stop and Shop type of grocery store, big box grocery store. Lowe's is a big customer of ours. They have some intricate systems where they have outdoor areas that need it, so they have a dry system on top of having their normal wet system inside. Also, they're constantly moving boxes, they're constantly putting stuff on shelves. So what happens when you put something on a forklift and you get a 16-year-old kid ripping around a forklift, he hits the sprinkler head. Yeah. So our fitters get calls at 3:00 in the morning that they need to go out to the the middle of nowhere at a Lowe's.
Gotcha.
And do a repair. So.
But that's 24/7 your business. So you have a technician or technicians that are on schedule, maybe a rotating schedule.
Yeah, so we rotate. We have 5 inspection guys who do service, and they're on a rotating schedule with a main guy who's on call and backup. And then because we cover such a large area, one of our guys is up in Maine, and he kind of covers just that whole area all the time. So what's negative for him is he's always on call. What's positive for him is there's not a lot out there to call him. So it kind of works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these guys, we have a answering service that picks up 24 hours a day. You'll talk to a person when you call in. It's
live answering.
Yes. So talk to a person. It gets dispatched to 4 people in the office and the technician all at once. They all get alerted to it.
Text or call or.
So the tech will get a call. Everybody else will get emails.
Gotcha.
Which they're constantly monitoring and on top
Sure.
of. The tech will immediately call, find out if it's something that is within our purview. Sometimes you'll get, hey, the alarm panel's making noise. Last time it was a sprinkler. Well, this time it's not. So we're not going to roll a truck out and charge you overtime rates. You got to call the alarm company, or here's what you can do to make it safe until the morning. Then you won't have to pay the larger. We try to not
work with the folks.
Yeah, exactly. We're not out here to
burn here.
Get
it. Cool it.
So so we take a very personal approach with our customers. One of the things that drew me here was it's a small office. There's probably 20 or so people in the office between our couple of offices here in New England, and so everybody knows each other, everybody interacts with somebody, but we're owned by a big conglomerate. So we need something that's really big, or our constant education or our buying power is corporate side, but everything's run here locally at the at the branch level.
So like you, like me, none of us are perfect. Okay, what's something that WM Fire Protection can do better?
Can do better. Well, we could get our name out there better. That would help me.
Good answer. That was a great answer.
Marketing ourselves, would be something huge. Our company has been very big in New York City and in new construction, but a focus was never really getting our service and inspection side out. I don't know why. We always did it, and we always did it well, but the old school of thinking was, we do it because we have to. Now it's like, we've got all these buildings out here, create business for ourselves and to do it as a service for our customers.
I didn't expect that.
No? What'd you expect?
That was pretty good. You have a career in maybe politics with that answer. You
It's in my
turned
heritage.
it around. I thought you were going to say, our operations could do better at, explaining the bill to the customer, or I thought you were going to go somewhere, logistical, but that was impressive.
A little bit of marketing history.
Yeah. What's your background before you started here?
So I've been in sales, mostly in the technology world.
And you got sick of that, I assume.
I did. It's very cutthroat with not a lot of, there's a lot of market saturation, right? So, anybody who wants to can sign up to be a Dell dealer and a HP dealer. And, even though you're doing the value adds that you need to be doing, you wind up, just they're going with the lowest price.
Yeah.
And then, then they call you when they need you to take care of the deficiency that, that they didn't get the right product, or they didn't get, the service that you wanted from the other guy. Well, that's why you're going to pay, 10% more or something like that for all the extra things that come with it.
And you're local.
Yeah.
You're not overseas.
Yeah. You call me, I'm going to pick up the phone. You're not going to get, somebody at a call center in Bangladesh.
Right. So what about your free time, or is there none of that anymore?
I like to play golf.
A lot?
As much as possible. I get out at least once a week. I'd like to get out a little bit more. Play baseball. I started playing baseball again last year. In the
Shout
old
out
guys
to
league.
Swervey.
Ron Swerve.
Ron Swervey.
And this will be the first year that I didn't play softball in, 21 or 22 years.
Wow. Because you've been
Just busy.
Yeah.
One of the teams folded, and I just didn't have the desire to go hunt for another team.
Right.
Between just getting married last year, buying a house last year, new career, playing baseball,
Lot going
playing
on.
golf, I'm pretty busy.
Wow. And what do you envision in the next 5 years, the next 10 years?
So next 5-10 years, I can see some big growth within W&M because of the way it's structured with, the branch level and then having bigger companies. They like to move people that do things well at the branch level up, corporate
Yeah.
side. And what the beauty of the way we're situated, nowadays with technology is I could work for corporate and not be at corporate in Minneapolis or Davis-Heimer in Rochester. I could work still out of this office. So yeah, I could see myself, moving up that direction.
And what fashion, if you will, what type of work, what do you do corporate that, you guys don't handle in the office?
I don't know yet, to be honest with you. I'm still feeling things out. So I'm, relatively new with the company. So, I'm still feeling things out, and I have no desire to change right now.
Yeah.
But as far as a 5-year plan, I could see that happening.
Cool, man. I've never heard of WM. You hit me up, and I was like, from the email, and I was like, WMFPS.com. I was like, what is that? I thought it was a spam.
Did you?
Because I didn't know. It's all letters, and I never heard of WM. I've heard WB Mason, old companies like that, but never heard of W&M.
Yeah, I mean, fire protection is not something people think about daily. You see it daily, and it's there, but the only time you really hear it is when
it fails.
Yeah, or you really need it, and the alarm's going off and getting you out of bed, or getting you out of your office, for an alarm.
Do you ever get customers that they get the bill and then they say, "Holy cow! How can it cost this much?" Or how do you combat that on the front end?
It's mostly on the front end. So we typically don't do anything as far as work without quoting it.
Gotcha. Prior
bidding it.
approval.
Yes. And we also tend to lean towards prepayments. Just because there's a lot of companies that will string you along until they need their next inspection. Well, we paid our guy already. We paid for the pipe already, especially towards the inspection side of it, because, there's no real press for them sometimes to to pay the bill. And we hate, we're a small business up until recently. We don't want to send anybody to collections, but yet we got to keep the lights on just like anybody else.
So what differentiates you between, the small electrician that does alarms on the side?
So
what's the customer going to get that's different and longer lasting?
So what you'll get from us is we have our own electricians in-house, so we can run wire. We tend not to really want to be fishing wire through. And our systems are more geared towards the professional side. It's not an ADT, in-home type of thing. We're, multi-tenant facilities. We're programmable systems. So, that the third floor smoke in the bedroom is having a trouble, as opposed to just, an alarm's chirping somewhere, that type of thing. It's definitely not the cheapest way to go, but it's definitely the best long-term investment, because the parts are, we run Siemens equipment for the most part when we do installs. So, you're not getting some Chinese junk, you're talking about, highly engineered equipment.
I love Siemens.
I heard of that.
Siemens is great. It's the best in the business.
They are. So we teamed up with Siemens, and then, as far as our inspection side, the electricians can't do it, but we can.
Gotcha.
So, we install it, we'll inspect it for you, or we can repair it for you. And a lot of times the electricians don't want anything to do with alarm. They'll run the wire and stuff.
Right.
So we've made agreements with some electricians where they run all the wire, we show up with the peripherals and the brains, and we'll program it, hook it up. So, we call it parts and smarts.
Yeah.
We come in, we take care of that. The wiring's on them, and then usually they'll bill their customer, we bill them, and they can mark it up if they want, or they can do it as a value add, whichever works for them.
Cool. So he's flexible.
Once upon a time.
Oh, no.
Heavy now.
Professionally. Personally, I don't know. And if folks at home want to get in touch with you, how do they do so?
So they can email me at arthur.dessureau, DESSUREAU, at WMFPS.us. That's probably your best bet to get me. I tend to be in the car a lot, and my phone does not work in the car strategically because we just don't do phones in the car. So that's your best bet, is to send me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
And Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York?
So not New York, all of New England.
Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine.
Correct.
So New England.
New England. So we
He
have.
can help you anywhere in New England.
Yep, and we have an office up in New Hampshire. We have guys up in Maine regularly. Rhode Island. We work right down the street from you at the Giant Mall in Providence Place.
Yeah.
So we do everything from massive buildings to small, offices and residential.
Tenant houses.
Yeah, residential. So, was it three
Yep.
tenants or more in Rhode Island?
Yep.
So yeah, so we would love to come in and maintain and test your small residential tenants.
Cool. No big, no too small.
Do it all.
Cool, man. If you have any questions for me, I don't know why you would, but you could put them in the comments section below, and you know how to get in touch with Art. And Art, I thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. And again, any questions, throw them in the comments field below. But we're here in Plantsville. Plantsville, is that Southington?
It is Southington,
It's
but
like-
don't tell somebody in Plantsville that they're from Southington.
Excuse me. It's like Union City, and
Exactly.
just pick a name, people. We're here in Plantsville, Connecticut.